Hello everyone, Akars here, and as you might already know, I took part in Epic Mega Jam 2022. For those ones who don't know, Epic Mega Jam is an annual game jam hosted by Epic Games themselves. So our task for the week is to make the coolest game possible using Unreal Engine. Alright, let's get to the video. August 25, the theme was finally announced, and it is as above, so below. Alright, not that bad, but still, we need some brainstorming. I opened Krita and started drawing the first thing that came into my mind. I imagined this cool two-sided city going as above, so below, if you know what I mean. With this in mind, I got to some actual brainstorming. I settled with a puzzle game where you first need to place a few tower rooms as a builder, and then solve a puzzle in the rooms you just built. The core feature is that all the rooms have a mirrored version on the other side of the floating island, so you need to think out a way to arrange those rooms in the way they work well together on both sides. So, when I decided on the idea, I created a new project and got to implementing some basics. I started with creating a builder character. It's just a camera rotating around some stuff, and if you click something, you'll focus on it. Cool. But it cannot be a builder if it can't build anything, right? So I implemented a simple building system. Really nothing special here, so we won't focus on it. What is really interesting is a human character that will be used to solve puzzles in the rooms you build. You may ask, what's so interesting about it? Just get the default character and you're done. But it's not that simple. You see, the idea is that we build towers on a two-sided floating island. So when we are above the island, character should walk on the floor, which is under his feet. But when we are below the island, the floor of the room is above us, and the default character can only walk on a floor which is below him. And this is totally not cool. To solve this problem, we need to create a custom character movement controller with dynamic gravity direction. So I got to prototyping. I still didn't get rid of the default character movement component cause I used it to apply physically correct forces to the character. Actually, custom movement isn't that hard as it sounds. First you need to trace for ground below your character to determine if he is grounded or not. If he is, you can apply force according to player's input to get your character to walk. Also, when character is walking, you need to constantly apply ground friction force in the opposite direction of movement. Custom gravity is even easier, just apply some force in gravity's direction and rotate the character so his feet face the ground, and you're pretty much done. Next, we need to implement the core feature of the game, world flipping. Basically, when you press a button, your camera should perform a fancy flip around the island and focus on the room on the other side. This effect was kinda tricky to get to look good, yet in the essence it was nothing special, just a timeline node with a few floor tracks. But have a look at how satisfying this looks! I think I could sit here all day long flipping the thing around and enjoying this effect. So, all those basics are cool, but to call this a game we have to add some actual gameplay. Since this is a puzzle game, we need a set of simple level mechanics, which we will combine to create different levels. The idea is that to finish the level you need to activate a crystal using some objects on the level, so I'll play from it. I started with implementing physical boxes and carrying mechanic. Then I added pressure plates, which activate when you put a box on them, and wires that connect objects and make it clear what is connected to what. Next, I added a simple activator, which is just a switch the player can turn on and off. And at last I implemented force fields, which physically block certain objects on the level. They can be disabled using activators and pressure plates. With these simple yet flexible mechanics, I got a pretty decent toolkit for creating some puzzles. Though the game still looks a little dull and I have to fix it. To start, I decided to model a simple character. I imagined him to be brightly glowing and with a cool scarf, so I made him exactly like that. Then I created idle and box carrying animations and imported it all into Unreal. At first I wanted to get locomotion animations from Mixamo, but for some reason they looked very off, so I just grabbed the ones I used for Zaris. They're actually from Advanced Locomotion System if you remember. After some tweaking, I managed to get the character to look like this, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Next I created a few simple models for all those objects I talked about earlier. And the game suddenly started to look good. The only thing left was to add some environment, so I got to it. I used Modeler Cliffs package for mountains and Stylized Forest package for grass and distant rocks. And combining those with my shadow creation skills, I managed to get the environment to look really cool. Also, if you're wondering how I managed to get rooms to be transparent from the direction you're looking from, here is a quick explanation. I calculate a dot product of vertex normal and camera vector, clamp it between 0 and 1, then invert it and use all of that as a mask. Moving on, I had to add some sounds to the game, cause I mean it's what all cool games need, right? Creating sounds is my specialty, so I got them from Wheel of Venice website. Luckily this company sponsored Epic Mega Jam, so everything in their library was free to use in this project. I also grabbed a few music tracks from there, but I doubt that I can legally use them on YouTube, so if you want to hear them, you'll have to download and play the game itself. So with all those things done, I could safely start designing some levels for the game. But here the question appeared, how am I supposed to do that? Creating all rooms in Unreal's blueprint editor would be a big pain in one particular spot, cause it's just not built for it. I had to figure out a fast and intuitive way for designing rooms, and I ended up creating an entire toolkit just for that. Basically, I can design rooms using Unreal's level editor, and by clicking a single button, the system will save the layout to a library. Then, in-game, rooms can access this library and recreate saved layouts. With this toolkit, I managed to create 5 different levels with raise in difficulty, which is pretty cool. After all that, I started to get rather low on time, so I quickly added a tutorial and a rather cool looking main menu. Additionally, I implemented a simple saving system to make the game feel even more professional. At last, I recorded a quick gameplay video, as it was one of the requirements for the submission, and was ready to upload the game. Damn it! So, this was totally unexpected. It's already 12 PM, tomorrow I have to go to school and my game is too big to be uploaded to each. Damn! Luckily, I had a lot of unused assets from the packages, and by clearing them out, I managed to dramatically reduce the size of the game. So then I was finally able to upload the game. I filled up all the information required for the submission and went to sleep. So the only thing for us now is to wait for the results, and I've failed to find any information about it. So I'll probably create a small video when the results are announced, to let you know how my game did. Alright then, this was quite a journey for me, so thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye!